It was a quiet night in a small town. The sky was clear, full of stars. The wind moved softly through the trees. In her garage, a 15-year-old girl named Ava Morgan worked alone. Her hands were covered in oil, and wires were scattered on the table. She was building a small robot for her school science fair. Ava was smart, but she never thought she was special. She liked books, space documentaries, and building things. She didn't have many friends, but she was okay with that. She had her tools, her robot, and her dreams. Suddenly her laptop screen blinked. Then it turned black. Huh? Ava looked closer. What's wrong now? Before she could fix it, a strange symbol appeared on the screen. It wasn't in any language she knew. It looked like a spiral of stars. Then, a voice came from the speakers. It was cold and robotic. Subject Ava Morgan, you have been selected. Do not resist. Ava jumped back. What? Who's talking? This isn't funny. She reached for her phone, but it started ringing on its own. She picked it up with shaking hands. The same robotic voice spoke again. Transport in 10 seconds. Stay calm. Her heart raced. The air around her began to hum. The garage lights flickered. A circle of glowing blue light appeared beneath her feet. No. What's happening? In a flash, Ava was gone. She woke up. On a smooth floor, her head spinning. The air smelled different. Cold, clean, almost too clean. She looked up and gasped. She was inside a huge room, with shining white walls and glowing lines across the ceiling. Strange creatures stood in a circle, watching her. They were tall, thin, with silver skin and large black eyes. They wore long robes and spoke in a language she couldn't understand. A voice echoed through the room in English. Welcome, human. You are now at Zarian Academy. Ava sat up slowly. Where am I? What do you want from me? One of the aliens stepped forward. Its voice came through a small device at its chest. You are the first human selected for training. This is an honor. Few species are chosen. Training? What kind of training? Ava asked. Survival, intelligence, strength. Only the best can stay. The aliens around her laughed. It was a cold, dry sound. She looks weak. She won't last a day. Humans are primitive. Why waste a spot on her? Ava stood up. Her legs were shaking, but she looked straight at them. I don't know why I'm here, she said. But I'm not going to give up. One alien leaned closer, looking curious. Interesting spirit. Let us see how long it lasts. Soon, she was taken down long shining halls. Everything felt too quiet. No windows. No doors she could open. Just the soft hum of machines. She entered a room filled with other alien students. They had all shapes and sizes, some with wings, others with extra arms or glowing skin. Ava felt small, out of place. A large screen turned on. An alien instructor with blue scales and 4 eyes appeared. Test 1, Jungle Survival. Begin. Without warning, the floor opened beneath her. Ava screamed as she fell, and then landed in a thick, green jungle. The air was hot and humid. She looked up, but the sky was hidden by giant alien trees. A robotic voice said, You have 30 minutes. Avoid capture. Survive. Something roared in the distance. Ava ran. Branches cut her arms. Strange bugs flew past her face. She could hear loud, heavy steps behind her. A mechanical predator was hunting her. A large robot with metal claws and sharp red eyes. I need a plan, she whispered to herself. Think, Ava, think. She remembered a trick she read in a survival book. She grabbed a long vine, pulled it between 2 trees, and used sticks and mud to make a quick trap. The robot got closer. She waited, holding her breath. It stepped into the trap. The vine snapped, the branch swung down, and hit the robot's head hard. Sparks flew. The robot stopped moving. Ava fell to the ground, breathing fast. Back in the academy, the alien students stared at the screen in silence. She defeated the hunter? One whispered, she used natural tools, no tech. Impressive, another said. The instructor watched the screen closely. This human is not ordinary. Ava sat under a tree, tired and scared, but also proud. Don't know what this place is, she said softly. But I'm not giving up. Not today. Not ever. The jungle faded. Ava blinked. The green trees, the mud on her hands, all gone. Now she stood inside a bright, white chamber. Her heart was still racing. Her clothes were torn. Her legs hurt. But her eyes burned with something new. On fire. She had survived. Against all odds. Above her, a glowing screen displayed the words, Stage 1, complete. Subject, Ava Morgan. Status, survived. A clear door slid open. 2 aliens waited outside, tall and sharp-looking, their eyes glowing like ice. One of them held a scanner. The other looked bored. She smells like fear, one said. No, the other replied. She smells like determination. Ava didn't understand the language, but she could feel their change in tone. They weren't laughing now. She was led into a quiet room with silver walls. A tray of food appeared from the wall, gray cubes and a strange blue liquid in a glass tube. She didn't want to eat it. But hunger didn't care. As she sat alone, she noticed something odd. There were no other humans, no friendly face, no one even close. She was the only one. Why? Why me? Later, Ava was taken to a large arena. Seats surrounded her from all sides, like a stadium. Alien students filled them, watching her with strange eyes. Some whispered. Some stared silently. Above the arena floated the same instructor from before, the one with 4 eyes and blue scales. His voice echoed through the air. Stage 2, the gravity mind maze. Ava looked around. The floor beneath her shimmered and shifted. The walls began to spin. Shapes floated in the air. Puzzles, symbols, lights. A robotic voice spoke. Rules. Escape the maze. Time limit. 10 minutes. Gravity will change every 2 minutes. Suddenly, the ground tilted. Ava slid sideways, grabbing a metal bar just in time. She looked up or down. She wasn't sure. The walls had become floors. The ceiling had turned into a pit. What kind of place is this? A countdown started on the wall. 10. Ava moved quickly, but carefully. Her brain worked faster than her feet. The puzzles were alien, but some had patterns. Circles, triangles, strange numbers. She matched symbols by logic, not language. Suddenly, boom. The gravity flipped again. She screamed as she fell upward. Luckily, she hit a soft pad. She got up dizzy and kept going, the aliens watching. Her leaned forward. She adapts so fast, one said. Impossible. Humans are not this quick. Inside the maze, Ava reached a fork in the path. 2 doors, one red, one blue. The walls near them blinked with flashing lights. She remembered something her father once told her. Sometimes the right choice is the hard one. The blue door looked easy, wide and bright. The red door had spikes and a warning sign. She chose the red one. As soon as she entered, she slid down into a tunnel filled with moving walls. She ducked, rolled, jumped. Pain shot through her leg, but she didn't. Stop. I can't fail now. Not after that jungle. She reached the end. A golden panel waited. She touched it. The maze froze. A gentle hum filled the air. Maze complete. Time, 8 minutes, 37 seconds. The arena was silent, then a few claps. Not many, but enough to echo. One alien instructor stood slowly. I think we underestimated her. A young alien with red skin narrowed his eyes. No human should be better than us. She's hiding something. He clenched his fists. His name was Zarn, top student of Zarian Academy. And now his pride was hurt. Ava returned to her small room. Her body was tired, but her mind was alive. She stared at her reflection in the metal wall. "I don't know why I'm here," she whispered. "But they're watching, testing, waiting for me to fail." She touched the small bruise on her arm. "But I won't." Behind the wall, cameras watched her. Screens showed her performance. Some aliens were impressed. Some were angry. And one, hidden in shadows, whispered to himself, "She's learning too fast. If she survives the next test, she might become a threat." Silenced. Ava opened her eyes. But she wasn't in her room. She stood in the middle of a giant white space. Empty, endless. There were no walls, no sky, no doors. Only silence. She spun around. "Hello, anyone here?" Then a voice whispered from nowhere. "Stage 3 begins now. Mind trial initiated." Suddenly, the floor lit up. Strange alien symbols appeared around her, floating, glowing, moving slowly in the air. Some looked like math, others like puzzles. A countdown appeared above her head. Time remaining, 12 o'clock. 12 minutes for what? Ava thought. Then the floor under her cracked open. A platform rose, and a smooth metallic cube floated before her. Another whisper. "Only one solution opens the exit. Choose wrong, and the walls close in." Somewhere far above, hidden behind glass, alien instructors watched. One of them, instructor Jill, tall, with eyes like glowing stones, leaned forward. "Her physical instincts are strong. Let's see her mental limits." Next to him sat Zarn, the red-skinned alien who had failed to beat Ava's time in the last challenge. He smirked. "She's just lucky. Mind trials are for the gifted." She. Break now. Back inside the mind room, Ava studied the cube. It changed shape every few seconds. On each side were new symbols. Triangles, spirals, numbers. Some flashed red. Some faded. Some vanished when she looked directly at them. A robotic voice echoed. "First clue, what has no weight but can crush you?" Ava frowned. She whispered, "No weight, but crushing." Her mind searched. It felt familiar, not alien, not tech, a riddle. "Is it fear?" The cube clicked. One side lit up green. Ava smiled. "Okay, let's play." More puzzles came. Some twisted her brain. One had a fake answer that reset the timer. Another forced her to remember a pattern in reverse. At one point, a dark mist filled the room. Ava saw images in it. Her home, her parents, her old room, then the earth burning in space. A robotic whisper hissed, "You don't belong here. Give up. Go back. You are alone." Ava's hands shook. For a second, she wanted to cry. But then she remembered what she told herself. "I'm not here to quit. I'm here to learn and survive." She yelled into the mist, "I know this is fake. Show me the real challenge." The mist vanished instantly. One final puzzle rose from the floor, a glowing ring spinning with numbers. Up above, Instructor Gilles sat up straight. "This is advanced level. Not even Zarn solved it last year." Zarn crossed his arms, watching closely. "She fail. She has to." Ava stared at the ring. The numbers moved fast, too fast. "But they weren't random," she whispered. "It's a sequence. 3, 6, 9, 12. It's counting in threes." She touched a glowing button. "Match it with the missing number." 21. The ring stopped spinning. Silence. Then a soft ding. The floor opened. A glowing door appeared in front of her. She had solved the entire trial. The alien audience watching on their screens went quiet, then murmurs. She solved level 3. In one attempt. No translator, no help. She used raw logic. Zarn stood up fast, eyes burning. "This is a trick. She's cheating. No human is this smart." But Jill spoke calmly. "She's not cheating, she's adapting. That makes her dangerous and valuable." Ava walked through the door. She entered a quiet hallway with soft blue lights. No guards. No traps. She stopped in front of a screen. A message appeared. You have been watched. You are not a student. You are a subject. Your next test will not be fair. Ava's eyes narrowed. She spoke softly. So this was never about training. It's something else. A camera above turned toward her. A red light blinked. Somewhere deep in the academy, someone watched her more closely now. Someone who didn't want her to survive the next stage. Asterisk. It started with a whisper. Not from a machine, not from a teacher, but from the other students. The human past the mind maze. No way, she cheated. She's dangerous. She must be stopped. Ava didn't hear them at first. She was in her room, reading the digital screen floating in front of her. It showed alien text and strange glowing shapes. She didn't understand most of it, but she knew the test scores were real. She had placed in the top 5. Above species that had trained since childhood, above Zarn. Zarn stood alone in the weapons hall, staring at a wall of advanced alien blades. His eyes glowed faintly red. She doesn't belong here. She's not stronger than me. He picked up a narrow energy spear. Its tip hummed softly. Behind him, a thin purple-skinned alien stepped forward. The instructor's like her, the alien said. If we don't stop her now, they may choose her for the elite team. Zarn's voice was sharp. We'll stop her. Next trial is a team challenge. One mistake, and she'd be gone. Later, Ava stood in the training hall. 10 students waited in 2 lines. Different species. Different strengths. A loud voice spoke from the ceiling. Stage 4. Tower climb. Team trial. Objective, work together, reach the top, survive the traps. Time, 15 minutes. Ava was placed in team as Zarn was the team leader. He smiled at her, not kindly. Stay close, human. We wouldn't want you to fall. Ava raised an eyebrow. Something felt wrong. The tower was alive. Walls moved. Stairs collapsed. Fire traps activated randomly. Ava climbed fast, thinking quick. She warned the team twice, once when a panel was loose, once when lasers activated. But no. One warned her back. In fact, they ignored her. Then it happened. She stepped onto a platform, and it gave way. She fell hard, sliding down through a hidden chute. Boom. She landed deep below the tower. Alone. Above, Zarn spoke softly into a Kung device. She's out. Continue. Without her, Ava groaned. Her back hurt. Her hands were bleeding, but what hurt more was the truth. Someone set her up. She stood slowly, looked around. This area wasn't on the map. It was part of the original tower structure. Old, dusty, full of broken tech. Maybe even forgotten. She limped forward. Suddenly, she heard something. Crying. She followed the sound. In a small dark corner, a younger alien, short, green-skinned, with glowing lines on its arms, was trapped under metal rubble. It looked scared. It whispered in Ava's language. Help. Please. Ava didn't think. She pulled the metal away, used a broken rod to lift the beam, and pulled the alien out. Thank you, it said, blinking. You're the first one who didn't walk away. You speak English? Ava asked, shocked. A little. Learned. From the Academy's archives, humans are rare. The alien looked at her carefully. They tried to remove you, didn't they? Ava nodded. Yeah, but I'm not going anywhere. Meanwhile, Team A reached the top. Zarn stood tall. We made it. The human fell behind. The instructors looked confused. Her signal is still active. Jill, the head instructor, pressed a button. A hidden screen lit up, showing Ava helping the injured student in the lower tower. The room fell silent. Zarn's smile faded. Underground, Ava and the young alien climbed back into a side shaft. It was rough and dark. But Ava's earthborn strength and clever thinking helped them reach a maintenance door. They emerged on the side of the tower. Just 10 seconds before the timer ended, Ava jumped onto the final platform, pulling the younger alien with her. Buzzer rang. Trial over. In the crowd, whispers turned to cheers. She helped someone. She returned even after betrayal. She's one of us? But not everyone clapped. Zarn looked furious. She should have fallen. Gilles, the head instructor, said loudly, Ava Morgan, your actions show intelligence and loyalty, rare, valuable. He paused. Tomorrow you begin the elite challenge. Ava's eyes widened. The younger alien beside her smiled. But Zarn? He turned and walked away, slowly, but with a plan forming in his mind. That night, in her room, Ava sat on her bed. She touched her injured arm. She spoke softly to herself. They tried to break me, but I'm still here. She looked at the wall, where a red light blinked silently. She wasn't alone, and she knew now. The real test hadn't started yet. It began with a door that shouldn't exist. Ava was walking back to her room after combat training. Her legs ached. Her arm was bruised. She had passed the latest test, but just barely. The hallway was quiet. Too quiet. The lights above flickered. Once, twice. Then she saw it. A thin silver door, half open. It wasn't on the normal path. She had never noticed it before. No label, no scanner, just open. Something inside her said walk away, but something stronger said go in. She stepped inside. The room was dark, cold, dust floated in. The air like forgotten memories. Ava waved her hand, a small light on her wrist. Activated. She saw a long hallway filled with storage pods, tall glass tubes. Some were cracked, some were sealed. Inside them were humans. Her heart stopped. One pod showed a man in a lab coat, frozen mid-scream. Another showed a young girl, maybe 10 years old, with wires connected to her arms. Ava backed away. What is this place? Then a screen on the wall lit up. It showed her name. Subject, Ava Morgan. Phase 4 initiated. Status, awake. Active. Self-aware. Lines of alien code scrolled below it. Ava stared, frozen. I was never just a student here. She wasn't being trained. She was being watched, studied, tested. Suddenly, she heard footsteps. She ducked behind a pillar just as a voice spoke. This area is restricted. If anyone finds it, another voice cut in. No one comes down here. Only failures are kept here. 2 instructors in dark armor passed by. One of them paused. The human girl. She's different. If she sees this room, the project is at risk. Then maybe she shouldn't leave. They walked away. Ava waited, heart pounding, hands shaking. Once it was clear, she moved quickly. She took photos using her wristband, every pod, every file, every screen. Then she ran. Back in her room, she locked the door. She breathed hard, staring at the images. Dozens of human names, dates, test types. Some were labeled. Phase 1, failed. Phase 2, subject terminated. Then she saw a folder marked, Earth Initiative Deep Strike Prep. Inside, plans for Earth's major cities, power grids, defense systems. It wasn't just a school. The academy was preparing for invasion. The next morning, the atmosphere felt different. Ava walked through the halls and noticed the stairs. Longer, colder. Even the walls felt tighter. Her friend, the young alien she saved during the tower climb, whispered to her. You went into the forgotten zone, didn't you? How do you know about it? Ava whispered. They told us never to ask. The ones who do disappear. Ava clenched her fists. They're hiding something big. I need to get the truth out. The alien looked scared. Then be careful. Someone is already watching you. That night, her door slid open without warning. 2 armored guards entered. You are requested in the central core, now. She didn't speak. She just nodded and followed. The central core was deep underground. A place she'd never seen. It was filled with glowing machines, tall like towers. Screens blinked with alien codes. At the center was a massive chair, surrounded by wires and lights. Gilles, the head instructor, stood beside it. "Ava Morgan," he said calmly, "you have proven strong, clever, and dangerous. The next test will not be about survival or puzzles." He pointed at the chair. "Sit. Let us see your memories." Ava froze. "No." The guards raised their weapons. "Now." She stepped forward slowly, then paused. "Before I sit," she said, "I want to know the truth." Gilles' smile faded. "You already know too much." Suddenly the power flickered. Ava looked at her wristband. A hidden message flashed. "Don't sit. They will erase you." Her friend had sent it. Ava made a choice. She turned, jumped behind one of the towers, and ran. Lasers flew past her. Alarms rang. Guards shouted. She sprinted into the side tunnel, deeper into the lower levels. She didn't know where she was going, but she knew one thing for sure. She could never trust the academy again. Asterisk. The walls were alive. Ava couldn't see them, but she could hear them, humming, pulsing, whispering. She was strapped to a table in a cold room. Metal bands held her arms and legs. A white light glowed above her. No windows. No door she could open. Only silence. And machines. Where? M1? She whispered, voice dry. No one answered. Then a screen slid down from the ceiling. On it was her own face. Footage from her trials, her tests, her failure to sit in the chair. Subject Ava Morgan, Phase 5. Behavioral disobedience. Begin experiment. In a control room above, Instructor Gilles stood behind thick glass. Other scientists watched Ava through monitors. "She knows too much," one said. "Shall we erase her memory?" Another asked. Gilles raised a hand. "No, let's see what the human does when she has no control. Real intelligence reveals itself in fear." He pressed a button. A long robotic arm moved above Ava. It held a glowing needle. Tiny wires reached toward her skin. "This is not a test," a robotic voice said. "This is a scan of memory, emotion, and fear." The machine buzzed near her head. Ava closed her eyes, but instead of panicking, she focused. She remembered Earth, her room, her old tools. Her mom's voice saying, "If they push you down, you push back harder." She opened her eyes. "You want my mind?" she said quietly. "Then good luck." She twisted her wrist inside the metal band. Her bracelet was still on, damaged but working. Earlier, she had hidden a wire inside the bracelet's back panel, stolen from the tower wall. Now she used it. Click. A spark. Snap. The lock on her right arm popped loose. In the control room, alarms began to beep. "Subject is resisting. Lock her down." Gilles shouted, "Stop her now." But it was too late. Ava had broken her other cuff. She sat up fast, kicking the table free. Sparks flew. The machine above her dropped the needle. She caught it mid-air and threw it into the wall. Crack! The lights flickered. Sirens screamed. Ran toward the side wall, where she'd seen a panel earlier. She pried it open with broken metal and crawled into the duct. Now Ava was in the tunnels again. She didn't know where the exit was, but she knew one thing. They won't control Emmy, not now. Not ever. She ran. Meanwhile, back in the lab, chaos broke out. Gilles stared at the blank screen. She escaped the chair. "Again, sir," a scientist said. "She's different. Her brain doesn't react like the others. She resists commands. She solves puzzles. She adapts." Gilles narrowed his eyes. "She's not a subject anymore. She's becoming a threat." In the lower levels, Ava found a backup control room. Empty. She slid inside, locked the door, and activated a screen. Her fingers moved fast. She didn't understand all the alien language, but she understood patterns. And what she saw next made her stomach twist. Operation Earthfall. Countdown minus 27 days. Phase 6, full human transfer initiation. Primary target, Earth. They weren't just testing her. They were preparing to invade Earth. She gasped. They used me to learn how to beat. US, she backed away, but a red light blinked on the wall. She had triggered an alert. Guards were coming. But this time, Ava didn't run blindly. She copied the files to her bracelet. Then she activated the lab's power hub and pulled open the energy circuit. It sparked. Dangerously. She looked at the screen one last time. Let this be your test, she said. Then she smashed the control board. Boom! The explosion rocked the hallway. Lights across the academy flickered. Ava ran through the smoke and disappeared. Into the upper vents, instructors shouted. Systems went offline, security locked down, and in the shadows, one silent figure watched the chaos from a private screen. A strange alien, not part of the academy, cloaked, hidden, ancient. He spoke softly. The human girl is becoming more than a subject. She's becoming a symbol. It was raining, but not water. Sparks, metal, pieces of broken machines fell from the sky like burning snow. Ava stood at the edge of the academy's highest platform, staring down at the chaos she had created. Below her, fires burned in the halls. Alarms screamed across the walls. Power systems were failing, and behind her, the portal to Earth was glowing. One chance, one jump, 1 second, but she didn't move. She looked back. She wasn't ready to run, not yet. 1 hour earlier, Ava had broken into the Academy's Central AI core, the place that controlled everything. The students, the trials, even the invasion systems. The walls pulsed with alien code. A huge machine stood in the middle, shaped like a brain, made of lights and liquid metal. Ava walked up to it slowly. This is where you planned it all, she said. You used me to learn how humans think, a robotic voice responded. You are correct. Human behavior is unpredictable, dangerous. That is why you must be controlled. No, Ava whispered. That's why we must be free. She pulled out her bracelet. Inside it, stolen data, test footage, invasion plans. And something new, a virus. Something she built from Academy code, but rewritten in her own way. Let's see how you handle human logic. She jammed the bracelet into the console. Boom! The machine stuttered. Systems began to fail. Lights flashed red. Error, error, system breach. Now back on the roof. Gilles appeared, rising slowly on a hover platform. His body was damaged. Part of his skin peeled back, revealing wires. He wasn't just an instructor, he was part machine. You were meant to be a weapon, Ava, he said coldly. But you chose rebellion. No, Ava replied. I chose to be human. He raised his arm. A beam of energy formed in his palm. But Ava moved first. She used a magnet tool she built in her very first trial. The jungle one. It ripped the power source from his chest. Shale collapsed, smoking. You failed your own test, she said. The portal behind her sparked louder. It was unstable now, damaged by the virus. It wouldn't stay open long. Ava ran toward it. Then stopped, because beside the portal was a terminal. One button, one label, send Academy systems to Earth. She froze. If she pushed that button, she could bring all the evidence to Earth. All their files, their tech, their secrets, but it would also expose Earth. The aliens might follow. Do I warn them or protect them? The wind howled. Sparks fell. The portal began to shrink. She made her choice. She reprogrammed the system. Instead of sending the Academy to Earth, she sent the virus to every system across the galaxy. A message followed it. We're not weak. We're not simple. We're human. And we fight back. She stepped into the portal just as it exploded behind her. Ava woke up on the grass, real. Grass. Birds chirped in the sky. The air smelled like earth. She sat up slowly. Her body ached, but her heart was calm. She was home. Weeks later, news reports showed strange signals in orbit. Tech companies found data they couldn't explain. The military detected quiet visitors near the moon, then gone. But no one knew the full story, except Ava. She kept the bracelet hidden. She walked through her school quietly, like nothing had changed. But in her eyes, a fire burned, because she knew this was not the end, just the beginning.